Alright guys, welcome back into Forza Motorsport 7. We're in the Vintage Hoppers driving the 69 Chevy Camaro in Prague, one of my favorite circuits in the Forza franchise. And as it's pretty much the norm in Forza games, this first corner is gonna turn into a huge mess. We're gonna get smashed onto the tire wall. So we're down in 11th place, unfortunately, but that doesn't surprise me. This is Forza. But anyways, a couple of guys also, something happened with them. I don't know if they got smashed off the track or if they just drove themselves outside of the track because they were too eager to take the corner at full speed, even though you need to use the brakes. But anyways, to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about older cars. I have actually driven this car a couple times in career mode, but this is actually my very first time driving it online. So I don't really know which cars are good or not. I just picked this one up because it has this cool livery that my wife did for me, the Angry Birds livery. So that's why I decided to go with it. So we're up in 7th place. I'm a little bit too tense because there's this guy who just can't seem to remain on a straight line, and this other guy who just overtook me. So I'm trying to look for a move, but it's not on, so I hold off on doing anything until I'm pretty sure that I can pull it off. But as you can see, this guy is absolutely not giving me enough space for a move. He's been pretty defensive, and he edged me out quite a bit in there. It wasn't necessary for him to take that corner that wide. So we make contact, and I accidentally push this guy onto the wall. I give him enough space to keep going so he doesn't lose a position because of my mistake. And I'm gonna try to go on the inside, but this guy just not gonna let me. So I just nudge him a little bit and take the position because I've had enough of that. This is pretty much the behavior of most of these people who are obviously not fast enough to keep up, but still they want to block you in places that they're not supposed to. It's fine to block around corners, I mean, take up the inside so you don't leave space for whoever is trying to overtake you. But when you're in a straight line, stick to your line. Don't keep swaying back and forth in an attempt to prevent people from overtaking you. That's not a very clean style of racing. So we're about to go through this twisty section that I love on this track. And this section always gets me a little bit nervous because the slight movement at the wrong time and you'll be facing the tire wall very quickly. I'm trying to catch up with the guy in the 6th place. I don't really know which car this guy is driving, but it has better acceleration / top speed than my car, at least for this track. My car is not suited for Prague in general, so a car with better handling and better acceleration, I think, would work best on a track like this. Moving on to the last lap of this race, I'm still trying to catch up with the guy in front of me. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do, because this guy is keeping up his pace fairly consistently, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to gain on him unless he makes a huge mistake on this upcoming section, the section, one of my favorite sections in the track. Let's see if we can go for moving here. Yeah, we can. This guy just keeps pulling away little by little, so We're about to cross the finish line and we're gonna have to settle for 6th place, which is nice considering that we got smashed off the track on the very first corner of the race. On to the second race of the video. We're now in Suzuka, a fan favorite that returned in Forza Motorsport 7, thankfully. I really wanted this track to come back for a long time, and I'm glad that it is back. And I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be chaos on this first corner. I really hope I'm wrong, I don't remember, but I'm expecting the worst. Yeah, somehow we managed to survive the carnage that usually goes on first corners as angled as these one. So we're up in 3rd place, which is great. We started quite ahead of everybody else because we set a decent lap time on the last race, so that granted us a couple spots up in the starting grid. I think this guy in front of me is the same one that I was trying to catch up in the first race in Prague. And pretty much everybody except for the first place went off the track in that section. That section usually catches me off guard. Even though I know the layout, I usually have trouble finding the line to take over that corner. We're managing to gain a little bit on this guy. I don't know how, but that's what's been going on. We're still in 3rd place, and we just crossed the finish line. The starting line into the 2nd lap. I tried to go for a move, but I decided to back out a little bit just to avoid any sort of collisions going on in there, because it wouldn't be good for either of us. But I think I have better chances of overtaking this guy on this race because this guy's making a lot of mistakes. He just went off the track onto the grass. So I'm gonna try to capitalize on his mistakes on this race. He doesn't seem to know this track very well. The first place keeps pulling ahead. So unless he makes a huge mistake, I don't think it's going to be possible for us to take the first place. But I think the podium is a nice place to be. Let's see if we can take this corner correctly this time around. And we do. So, but unfortunately the guy in front of us also did take the corner very well. So we didn't gain a whole lot on him. This double apex section is also one of the worst ones in the track, in my opinion. It's one of the corners that I struggle with the most. I braked a little bit more than I should. I could have taken this corner a little bit faster. Would have gained a lot more on him. And he almost goes off the track, but he managed to keep his car under control. We're still in 3rd place. We have about 100 meters gap between the 4th place, which is always nice to have, especially so when you're aiming to overtake someone. You want to do everything within your reach to not have to worry about a racer trying to overtake you. And this corner this time was a little bit messy. Didn't take that as smoothly as I could. We're in the 3rd lap, double apex section again, taking it really slow. I really need to learn this section properly. Even though I have the racing line on, it doesn't help me a lot figuring out the optimal the optimal racing line to take on that turn. Again, I took this corner slower than I should, and this guy manages to pull away just slightly. Looks like he got it together, and now he's keeping his laps fairly consistent, which doesn't help us because his car is better than the Chevy Camaro that we're driving. Looks like we're gonna have to settle for third place. Let's see if we can reel him in. Somehow the first place kind of lost quite a bit of time because he was way ahead of us, and now he's just he lost, so he might have screwed up at some point, but he just pulls away again. But the second place seems to be keeping up fairly well with him, so this is good because that slows each of them down, so we might benefit from that. But as you can see, we're about to cross the finish line and the race is over, so we had to settle for second place. I don't know what happened there. We were in third place and somehow we finished in second, so that's great. I'm not gonna complain about that. Moving on to the third and last race of the video, we're in Daytona at night, and we're starting at the front of the pack. Somehow I think we managed to set the fastest lap time in the last race, so that granted us with the first place in the starting grid in this race. There's this hairpin coming up and I'm kind of tense. Yeah, I had a reason for that. Some guy just decided to smash me off the track and into the tire wall, which is not a great thing to be honest. And here's I think it was the guy who smashed me off, and we just nudged him out of the track, so we don't have to worry about him. But somehow he's still, yeah, he was in fifth place, but somehow he got overtaken. So that gives me a little bit of peace of mind. So we're up in fourth place. This guy was kind of holding me back. I don't know if it was on purpose or if he was just struggling. So I decided to just go for it and not worry about, because again, I don't know what was going on in that, but he was really, really slow. And I was kind of worried that the other guy would manage to catch up to me again and screw me up once again. So that was a dirty move on my part. I accept that. So I just didn't care at that point. And it was on this race that I realized that my car is ridiculously fast on a straight line, fairly straight. This is it can be taken flat out, so I can consider that as straight. But my car is really, really fast. It's faster than the guy that I was constantly trying to catch up on the previous two races. As you can see, I caught up immensely. He was way ahead of me, and somehow we gained a lot over that section, which gives me hope for a first place on this race, because this straight section is about to come up again, and we're much closer than we were on the first lap, so we might have a chance of overtaking him. I'm being really careful around the corners so I don't lose too much time. I know that he's gonna be faster than me around the corners, but here's where I have the upper hand. So let's see if I can reel him in and maybe take up his position. Yeah, we're just starting to shorten the gap between between him and I. So yeah, we managed to overtake him. Now let's see if we can reel the first place in and maybe go for a first place finish. We're on the last lap, we just crossed the finish line. I don't know what happened there, but I believe that this guy thought we were gonna ram him off the track, and somehow he tried to push me off the track. So I don't know what's going on. He was afraid, but then he tried to pull a dirty move on me. So I managed to take up the first place, but this guy is pretty close, and I need to keep an eye on him because I'm afraid that he might try to spin me off, or I don't know, something to get me off the battle. We're still in first place. Again, I'm trying to be as careful and as patient as I possibly can around the corners because my car is fairly slow when it comes to acceleration, and also the handling is fairly stiff. But we're on the straight line, and I think the victory is ours. We're up in first place, and we were gaining on this guy, but as you can see, someone overtake him, and he's gonna try to go for a dirty move. I think he's gonna try to, or maybe he was trying to just overtake me and he got too eager and ended up hitting the wall. So yeah, the first place is ours. This is actually the very first and only win in this video, but it was a nice one. It was a nice surprise to learn that this car is a beast on a straight line. So this is a good car for you to try out in the vintage hoppers. It's quick, but it's not the greatest around the corner, so you need to keep that in mind if you decide to go with it in the multiplayer mode. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more Forza Motorsport 7 content, share the video with your friends and on your social media, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.